Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City. In less than 24 hours, Rudis Super Match #1 will roar to life here at the Motor City Casino. So glad to have you with us here for this press conference highlighting the action. Jason App alongside six-time World Olympic champion Jordan Burroughs. Excited for the action we have. We've got Olympians, Olympic champions, Olympic medalists, world champions, world medalists at various levels. And Jordan, this should be terrific. There is an awesome set of talent set up on the stage behind us.
Yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal event this week, Jason. You know what? This is the way wrestling should be displayed. It's been one of man's oldest sports, and we know how hard these guys work. So it's going to be amazing to see the effort and all the work that they've put in displayed here in Detroit.
We've got a lot of top athletes to hear from, some of their stories, what they're thinking about as they get set up for their bouts. But of course, the feature of this one, the one that we were denied seeing at Olympic trials back last April in Fort Worth, Texas, but it's going to happen here in about 24 hours time in Detroit. Kyle Snyder and Jaden Cox, toe-to-toe here. Olympic medalists, including the Olympic champion from Rio, Kyle Snyder, multiple world medals Olympic bronze for Jaden Cox. Certainly their resumes speak for themselves. But Jordan, we finally get to see what shakes out for them. And intrigue to this, won't be one bout, just like it would have been at trials, best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, it's a travesty that we haven't been able to see this, or the public at least. I've seen this a lot of times at the Olympic Training Center each summer in Colorado Springs, but both of these guys are phenomenal wrestlers. They have such contrasting styles, and I think this is going to be a real treat for the fans.
Certainly more to talk about that as we roll throughout this press conference proceedings. But first, want to bring in Jesse Lang, managing partner and CEO of Rudis, helping put on this show. And the idea here to get all these athletes together before a big weekend of college wrestling here in Detroit. Talk a little bit about what this idea was and what it's like to see it about ready to spring to life.
Well, I think wrestlers know what they all want to see, and they want to see the best wrestling. So everybody was aware what didn't happen, and it goes back before really the Olympic trials this year. It was COVID. We've been on delay for a long time, and people salivate for the best wrestling. And I don't think anybody salivates for it more than the people who compete in the sport and live the sport and breathe the sport. So to bring it to life and have the privilege for us to do that is truly that. And credit goes to the athletes that want to jump on the card and the team that's willing to put in the work to do all the details to make this come to life. And then the fans that want to support an effort like this.
Jordan, what do you think about this going along and with Jesse and putting all this together?
Yeah, Jesse, this has been a big 12 months. The last 12 months for Rudis have been amazing. Rudis Plus has been your brainchild for the last year or so, and it's been growing at an astounding rate. What was it like to build this event and put it on and see it come to fruition today?
Well, I would say the build is just like wrestling. It's a lot of little things, a lot of little decisions that turn into look like one big thing. But that's not, it isn't a big thing. It's a lot of little things by a lot of people. It's attention to detail. It's finding a way, figuring it out, and it's working with great people. So we got a great team. We got an amazing team, and I really didn't do much. All I did is I brought together a great team, and that's why I got you guys here. That's why these guys are here, and there's so many people that aren't on the camera. My partners at home, Nancy, Tommy, Jeff, and all the Rudis team who put this together are amazing. So it's just a privilege to be able to let their work be seen.
And the last thing before we let you go and talk to these athletes here, Rudis Supermatch 1. Does that mean that maybe more coming in the future?
I would say so. I would say so. Everything we do, we try to do better, just like a wrestler does. And we're just getting started. Young company in many ways. We make mistakes like anybody else, but like a wrestler, I think our best match is always ahead. Still got something to prove.
Absolutely. Always.
Jesse Lang, thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys.
Managing partner, CEO of Rudis, helping put on this showcase. Jordan, got a lot of bouts to talk about. We get to see a wide variety of athletes coming here. We're going to start with our first bout. We're going to go with two guys who have big futures coming in college, but first they're going to have a little folk style matchup here. We've got Jesse Mendoza at a Crown Point High School in Indiana, outside of Chicago, and Casey Swiderski at a Dundee High School in Michigan from Detroit. Gentlemen, you here? Stand up, get recognized. And Jesse Mendez, let me start with you. You got your Ohio State colors on. I know you're excited to go represent the Buckeyes in the future. Talk to me a little bit about what this bout means and have another matchup against this guy.
Yeah, for sure. This I took a loss to Casey earlier in the summer, so that one didn't really sit well with me. So I've had my eye on this match for a while, kind of that tunnel vision in, working hard, I'm ready. I wanted this match, and you guys gave me the opportunity, so thank you.
Awesome. Casey, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
Hey, so big matchup on a big stage. A lot of times when you're in high school, especially, I know how it can be on the scholastic level around the country. It's very rare that you get really tough matches, and a lot of guys will go out of their way to avoid those tough matches. What made you say yes to this match, and are you prepared to go out there and win again?
I love tough wrestling. I feed off of the gritty matches and the tough, hard-fought wins. That's how I train, and I love the atmosphere we're gonna have up here. We're on a stage, and I love wrestling up on the big stage. I feel like I feed off it, so I'm excited, and it's gonna be fun. So
matchup between multi-time state champions from your respective states in Indiana and Michigan. It's interesting. You wrapped up another team title for your high school as the last match. What it's going to be like to be the opener in this, try to spark up this crowd.
Yeah, it just proves that there's levels to this, and I ended it. My coach retired in my last high school match, and he's going to be able to be here. And this will be his actual last match right here. He'll be coaching, and awesome opportunity for him, and I'm super excited. So,
Gentlemen, thank you. Looking forward to it.
thank you.
Our next matchup, it'll be in freestyle. Couple of other guys out of the high school ranks. Caleb Henson from Woodland High School, Cartersville, Georgia. Hunter Garvin of Iowa City West High School there in Iowa City. Gentlemen, welcome. Good. Caleb, let me start with you. Just trying to get ready after junior national champ in Fargo last year, an opponent you've never wrestled before. What's your mindset, your thought process coming into this?
Doing the same thing that I've done throughout my career, going out there with my game plan, my match, and not feeding into his style and going out there and dominating.
Caleb, one of the cool things that I've seen this week is a lot of the high school guys, you're all representing your school colors for the future. As a future Hokie, what are you looking forward to about spending your time in Blacksburg?
There's a lot of great people up there with great futures ahead of them. So the future's bright there, and a lot of vets like James Green's helping me out there. And it's a fun time. It's a good atmosphere, and excited to put on that VT and representing on the D1 stage.
So thanks, bro.
And Hunter, you're headed outside of Iowa. You're going to Stanford. We talked a little bit earlier today about going to the farm, and you talk a little bit about the decision process there to go wrestle for Rob Cole.
It was a tough decision process for sure. A lot of talking with parents and coaches, but once I went out there to visit, it was a no-brainer. I had to. nothing beat it.
Awesome, good stuff, man. So you're going from Iowa to California. What are you looking forward to most besides the weather change?
Especially that. I'm looking forward to just broadening my horizons, getting to meet new faces, new people, and just be a part of the great thing that Cole and his company are starting to build.
And Hunter, one thought on this matchup. Again, guy you've never wrestled before. What are you thinking about as you get ready for this?
Very likely. I'm thinking about my style, my stuff. Not going to let myself. I mean, it's just another match, just another business trip, and that's the goal here.
All right, gentlemen. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Again, our next matchup, David McFadden and Mitch Finesilver. David is working with his Drexel wrestling team, so he's not here, but Mitch is here. And we were talking, Mitch, earlier today, certainly for you, European bronze medal for Israel. How proud are you to earn that award and continue the growth of wrestling for your country?
Excuse me. For me to represent Israel has been amazing. It's allowed me to showcase not only my wrestling, but also my heritage, my ancestry, and like you said, I'm fortunate to be able to kind of inspire, that youth in Israel. Hopefully that keeps growing and growing, and that's the goal at the end of the day. You want to grow wrestling.
Awesome, Mitch. So NYCRTC, you got a few of you guys on this card tonight, including Jordan Oliver. What's it like being there? How is Kendall as a coach? Tell me a little bit about what you guys have been building there.
The biggest thing about our club is we bring in a lot of foreign athletes to train with. It's good for me. It's good for Jordan. And it kind of just helps grow our whole program. And really, it's kind of helped add levels to our wrestling. And you see so many different types of wrestling as a result. And I'm fortunate for what we have there. For Kendall, Olympic champ, he's able to, again, elevate our wrestling and do what we do, keep growing wrestling.
Again, this is all going to be part of Rudis Supermatch #1 coming up tomorrow night here in Detroit. So I got to ask you, McFadden has wrestled a couple of your brothers. He's beaten them both twice. You are defending the family name tomorrow night. I know you guys are friendly, but can you talk a little bit about that? You heard some stuff from your brothers to go out there and get some?
Yeah, David's he's a great wrestler, and it's gonna be cool to be able to avenge my brothers. He beat them in ACC finals, and again, we have that rivalry between Virginia Tech and Duke, and I have a ton of respect for David, but I'm going out there to avenge my brothers at the end of the day. Yeah,
Hey, man, we're looking forward to see how it plays
Good luck,
out.
Mitch.
excited.
Mitch, thank you very much. Again, we've got talented women performing here too. Our next matchup, Emily Shilson, 2021 Junior World Champion, 2021 Under-23 World Champion from Maple Grove, Minnesota. Erin Golston, U.S. Open champion veteran here from the Midwest, Chicago suburbs. Erin, welcome, Wisconsin RTC. I know you're a proud training there and just kind of getting settled there now, especially from COVID. You feel comfortable and confident right now?
Yeah, I feel confident. You know, I love it there. We've had great training. There's a couple of my teammates on the card too, and I'm really excited to see what we can all do tomorrow night.
Aaron, I'm excited for you because I'm a seasoned vet, right? As the old guy on the scene, I see a lot of these young upstarts that are inspired by you and your generation, and now they're the next generation coming up and doing extremely well. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to wrestle someone young that you've watched grow in the sport that you know is really good, but you also know that you're tough and you've been on the scene for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Emily first started coming to the training center. We were partners all the time. I've watched her career, her journey, and we wrestled a couple of times so far. We've gone back and forth, but I'm really excited for this matchup.
Again, for you in this setting here, what's this experience been like walking in, seeing this setup? How pumped are you to get this going?
Oh, I'm so pumped. I had talked to my coach when we first walked in. I compared this to like a Hunger Games type setting. You know, we walked in, we saw Jaden on one screen, Kyle on the other, and it just has a really Hunger Games type feel like we're about to go into battle tomorrow.
Awesome. Is there another match out of all these that you're kind of going to check out once you're done?
Oh, I'm the fourth match, so I'm about to sit back and watch all the rest comfortably. But, you know, I'm excited for all of them, but obviously Kyle and Jaden, you know, I've been waiting for that one for a while.
A lot of us have. Aaron, thank you. Emily, congratulations again on a terrific 2021. Again, for you, what's been key kind of in your growth here, especially throughout the last year to achieve what you've been able to do?
I think the biggest thing is I've just been keeping doing what I've been doing my whole career, but making small adjustments every single time. I'm always looking at what's ahead. I'm not focused on what happened in the past and just always making those small adjustments. And that's what's helping me win at the highest level.
So, Emily, you've wrestled and accomplished some amazing things in this sport, but maybe never a stage this big. Talk about what it's like to be here and how excited you are to compete at Supermatch 1.
I'm so excited. This atmosphere is incredible. We walked down the escalator today and there were cameras everywhere, and it's just amazing to see what all goes into producing this card. And so thank you to everyone that's helping making this happen. And it's an honor to be up here on the stage with the biggest names in wrestling and talking to the biggest names in wrestling right now.
Emily, last thing for me is Aaron talked about it. She won the first one. You won the last one. What do you think might be the deciding factor in this one for you?
Like I said before, I'm always making those small adjustments, and I've added so much to my arsenal in the last few months. I'm super excited to get after it tomorrow and let it all fly.
Awesome. We can't wait to watch.
Thank you.
Next up is Evan Henderson, two-time All-American during his college days in North Carolina. Seth Gross, NCAA champion, NCAA runner-up at South Dakota State, finished up at Wisconsin. Gentlemen, welcome. Evan, I guess just talk to me about facing Seth, what you're looking forward to the most.
I'm looking forward to throw bombs. You know, I'm looking at this. He's Mr. Funk, and I'm kind of funky myself. So he's got a nice stash over there. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but like I was thinking about growing out mine, and I got engagement photos coming up, and my wife or my future wife, she wasn't too keen on me keeping it, so I had to get rid of it. But again, I've never wrestled him before, so it's got to be interesting.
Evan, you've been around for a while. Tried and true. You're a guy that is always reliable to provide a tough matchup for anyone that you compete against. Tell me a little bit about what you think the over-under might be for this matchup.
I think he's up. I think he's the favorite, and I'm the underdog. But I got bet on me if you're betting, because or if you're thinking about, I mean, how many points do you think we're gonna put up?
More than 20, less than 20?
I think we're gonna close in on 30.
I'm with that.
Hey, we'll sign up for a score fest, fellas.
Absolutely.
That sounds pretty good. Hey, Seth, just for you, he was joking about kind of getting married soon. You've just gotten married, still kind of in the honeymoon phase. How has that helped your wrestling?
It's awesome, right? We're both every day getting on. We're kind of on the same schedule. We go in, we work out together, right? We're on the same diet plans. We're on just doing everything together. So it makes it easy, and we can keep each other accountable every single day. So it's fun, and she pushes me to reach my goals. I push her to reach her goals, and she likes my stash. So
Seth, you're the hardest working man in wrestling this NCAA championship weekend. You're wrestling on the same card with your wife. I'm sure you'll be coaching her and cheering her on this or tomorrow evening. But then you're also going to be coaching Wisconsin as an assistant this weekend. Talk about how you're going to be able to do all these things and fit them all into such a busy weekend.
yeah, I love it. I love it. I love wrestling. I want to be around it 24/7, and it's just a cool experience where I get to wrestle, and I'll go coach Rana, and then right, I'm getting the guys ready to go. And tomorrow morning I'll be in there wrestling with the Wisconsin guys, getting them ready, getting them down to weight. So it's fun. I love stuff like this. Keep me busy and keep me ready. And yeah, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Gentlemen, good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Seth.
Next up, 125 kilos in men's freestyle, Derek White out of the Cliff Keene Wrestling Club, NCAA runner-up as a senior at Oklahoma State, two-time Big 12 champion for John Smith, and Umar Desi, three-time All-American, three-time Pac-12 champion for Oregon State. Gentlemen, welcome. Derek, you know, for you, we talked a little bit earlier today about your training at Cliff Keene and getting to work with some guys in that room and training with a guy by the name of Jaden Cox. What's that done for you to continue your development?
Jaden is a hard-working guy, man. I'll tell you that. He goes hard all the time. And, you know, I'm glad I'm here with him and Alex and Alec, man. I can't wait to compete.
Derek, I hear you have a very interesting nickname. Can you tell us what it is?
What are you talking about? You talking about the bulk job?
Bulk job. Bulk job. Tell me why
I don't know
everyone
who made
calls
that
you the
up.
bulk job.
I don't know. I don't really care for it too much.
So you haven't embraced it. If you had a nickname for yourself, what would it be?
I never really had one. I don't know. I'll go with
Awesome.
the bulk job.
I just accept it for the night. Thanks,
Hey,
bro.
hey, thought about wrestling Desi here?
Yeah, I've never competed against him before, but it should be fun. I mean, can't wait.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you. And Umber, hey, for you, for Canada, going to the Olympics, going to Worlds again, for you, what did you take away from your last year to get you ready for where you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, last year was fun. You know, like you said, I went to the Olympics, went to Worlds. I feel like I've been on the stage for a little bit now. I'm 26. It was a fun experience. I learned a lot. Just got back to the room and do what I do.
So recently we got to see Tervel Delagnev presented with an Olympic bronze medal from 2012 in London. I know you spent a lot of time training with him over the last few years. Tell me about what that experience was like and some of the things that you've learned from him.
Yeah, for sure. T is an amazing dude. I love that guy. He changed a lot of wrestling just in the whole for me. You know, he taught a lot of stuff for me, like right off the mat, like just mentally, like what I need to do and where I need to be. Honestly, he's helped me tremendously. You know, I can't put into words, but great guy.
Umber, thanks.
No problem.
Thanks, bro.
Next up, women's freestyle 72 kg. It'll be Victoria Francis, two-time world team member for the United States, and Kennedy Blades, 2021 junior world champion. Kennedy, let me start with you. You had a great run at Olympic trials last year, certainly opened a lot of eyes. And then how did you take the success you had there to junior worlds and end up winning gold?
Well, going to the Olympic trials, I had to have a lot of confidence in myself because I was I was younger. I was 17. So I was kind of the underdog and I had to wrestle at last chance qualifier to qualify. So I had to do a lot of I had a big cut, about like 16 pounds. So, I was just super dedicated that whole time, and it was pretty easy to just carry that into junior worlds because I lost to like the Olympic champ, which I mean, it's not that bad because he's an Olympic champ. So I was really confident in myself going to junior worlds because I knew that what I was capable of, especially being able to beat all the senior women athletes. So, yeah.
And Kennedy, you've been doing this for a long time, but you're still extremely young in this sport. And so now getting onto the stage and starting to wrestle these wily veterans, you operate with such a swagger, a confidence. Tell me where that confidence comes from.
Well, my parents have both been super. They were pretty strict on us. Me and my sister were younger, and they just told us to always keep our head high and just work hard. So I think I've just been living that way throughout my entire career, and the whole time. So I don't know. I just believe in myself, and I pray to God all the time just to ask Him for strength. And I think being able to rely on Him has really helped me be really successful. So.
You know, wrestlers are always looking for new and talented training partners. You have one in your own household. What's it like to be able to train with your sister all the time?
Me and my sister have been through a lot together. When we were younger, we were beating up the boys, and now as we're getting older, we're starting. We're continuing to win. So just having her right by my side, I'm so happy that she's here with me today. And since we've been going through so much together, I think just having each other and just keeping each other accountable has been like the biggest part of both of our journeys. So.
Victoria, thanks. Or excuse me, Kennedy, thanks. Victoria, hello, as I get my bearings here. Hey, talk to me about, from your world experiences, fifth in the world a couple of years ago, what do you take from that to continue to grow and get where you want to be in your career?
I think that was a really good just check mark for me. Gave me a lot of confidence knowing that I'm on the right track. I'm seeing improvement in myself. I'm continuing to climb up and get new rankings and new placings. But it was still a kind of a shot in the heart to see, go back and watch and be like, I should have been doing this, and just continues to fuel me to push myself forward.
Victoria, as a senior level athlete, the utmost importance of us for the pinnacle is the Olympic gold and a world championship. You get calls and emails for super match. How do you say yes to an event like this?
The thing I think about is I think about just building the sport. Of course, I want to go and get medals. I want to be an Olympic gold. I want to be a world gold medalist, but growing the sport at any level. And I think super matches like this, cards, clinics, things like that help build the sport across the country. And that's a huge importance to me as well.
So we've got people chiming in on social media trying to find out what you guys think. So one of the questions is, how about another match besides yours here at Rudis Super Match 1 that you think would be cool to watch once you're done?
I'm really excited to watch Brentil and Miracle battle it out. That's probably got me the most pumped out of everybody.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that one too. Victoria, thanks.
Thanks, Victoria.
Next up, 97 kilos men's freestyle, Colin Moore, four-time All-America, three-time Big Ten champ from Ohio State, under 23 world silver medalist for the United States, world junior bronze against Nate Jackson, U.S. Nationals champ at 92 kilos last year. Colin, let me start with you. What have you been focused on here in early stages of 2022 as you get ready to have some match action?
Yeah, I think at this level, it's just a bunch of little details that make the big differences. And I'm really focused on making the world team in May. So I'm going to be competing against one of these two guys and Nate maybe in those. So just looking at the high level guys and taking away stuff from our past matches and just making those little tweaks and trying to just get better at one thing every day when I come into practice.
Colin, I got to do it to you. You're the only guy on this stage that has a common opponent between Jaden and Kyle.
Come on.
Right? You got a lot of merit in what you say. Who you got tomorrow night?
I was hoping this wasn't going to happen. No, I think they're both I wrestled them both. They both present very, very unique challenges as wrestlers. And I'm not going to decide. No, I'm not going to say it. No, I think it will go 3 matches, though. I'll say that.
Safety first. That's always a good strategy. Colin, thank you. Nate, hey, how about a thought for you? You were talking before about having your family here, your kids here, maybe motivating you a little bit more when you get on the mat?
Yeah, I think it's different for me. So the first experience I had was a flow card, bringing my son along with me. I actually didn't win, which wasn't great, but the energy boost that I got during that match was transformative. And we're looking for that edge. So if my family is that edge for me, I want them around me when I'm getting ready to compete.
Nate, we've watched you transition through numerous weight classes on the senior level, as low as 79 and now up at 97. How does it feel to be this big? Are you moving well? Do you feel good? How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great. So I started training freestyle full time, or started training freestyle for the first time in 2018. And since that started, obviously, I think I was a little bit underdeveloped, a little immature as a man, and just became a man. As I became a man, I didn't want to slow my growth by cutting weight and taking away from my gains. So I've been just focused on getting better every day, just like everybody else here. And the growth has been exponential. I'm excited. Last year, I wrestled a lot. This year, I haven't wrestled as much, but I've been doing the same amount of work. I'm just trying to make sure that where I am, I'm putting 100% effort in what I'm doing, whether it's coaching, whether it's being a father, whether it's being a parent, whether it's being an athlete. This is a really fun part for me, so I'm excited to showcase. I love wrestling in front of a big crowd. This is an awesome venue, so this is going to be cool.
All right, do you want to touch the live wire, Snyder or Cox here, and decide?
I wrestled them both. I had very different matches. I'm excited to see the result.
Come on. We need someone to make a decision. Who's bold enough on the stage to actually make a pick? Anyone?
Gentlemen, thank you. We'll see if somebody comes up with that at some point here, Jordan, as we move along. Isaiah Martinez, Alex Dieringer coming up. Isaiah not here working with his team, getting them ready for NCAAs, but Alex is here, 3-time NCAA champ, 4-time Big 12 champ, at Oklahoma State, U.S. Open champ in your career. Hey, Isaiah's not here, so we could talk about him a little bit, but just your thoughts about facing him and what's important in your mind.
Yeah, we've wrestled 3 times now. It's been competitive every single time. He's a great wrestler. We're both similar styles, both very strong, both like the tie-ups, both like to score points. So it should be a good match. Should be fireworks. Excited for it.
Alex, you come from a storied program as a Oklahoma State. Now being at Michigan in their first year, winning a Big Ten championship since 1973. Talk about what it's like being behind the scenes, working with these guys and helping them propel forward and reach their goals.
It's been amazing. Obviously, them winning a Big Ten title, they still got to win a national title coming up. But it's been amazing watching their growth. And obviously, Jaden coming in, Kevin Jackson. It's only going to keep getting better too, having those guys here. Keep bringing better recruits, better people in general. So it's been an awesome experience. I love it in Michigan. I love it in Ann Arbor. It's a great place, great people, great coaches, just great everything. I love everything about it.
We've got some athletes here that are coming off of layoffs. They haven't wrestled in a while. You were able to go to Russia in a little bit. You talk a little bit about getting there. Not exactly what you wanted with fifth, but you stayed and did a little training for a little bit.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I stayed there for 9 extra days with Alec. We got some really good training with some of the Russians. And I always try to take stuff from a big trip like that. Any trip I go on, always trying to find those little things and try to make myself better with it.
Ringer, Hal or Jaden?
Jaden.
Got one.
Got to. He's my teammate.
Yes, sir.
Training partner love. There you go. Alex, thank you. Up next, Kayla Miracle, Tokyo Olympian for Team USA, 2021 world silver medalist, against Emma Runtiel, last year under 23 world team member for the U.S. and now one of 8 women to win at the prestigious Urigan Grand Prix in Russia. Again, 8 American women have won a title there. So, ladies, welcome. Kayla, let me start with you. We chatted a little while ago just about your takeaway from last year and what you learned in Tokyo and how it applied for your success at Worlds.
Yeah, it was a super long year. I mean, some of these people on the stage went through the same thing. You had to go to the Olympic trials, you had to go to the Olympics, then you had to go to World Team trials, and then Worlds. It was a grind. But from the Olympics, I went in and, in your head, it's like, this is the freaking Olympics. I've been thinking this since I was 4 years old. I want to be a gold medalist here. But what I learned from that to World Championships is it's 6 minutes at a time. And that's all I'm doing. I'm doing it because I love it, not because I have to win. So it went from a job to back to something that I love and more of a hobby. And I think that's where I found my success at the World Championships.
Kayla, you've wrestled on the biggest stages in the world, Tokyo Olympic Games, Oslo, Norway for the World Championships, and now here Detroit, Michigan for Super Match 1. How do you get motivated for events like this after wrestling for Olympic gold?
I think just the sport, it's fun. Getting to show off your talents and everything. Another chance to showcase what I have. I've been working on some new things with my coaches, and I'm excited to have an opportunity to, do it in a real live match, not at practice against Dom or Helen or Forrest so it'll be fun just to compete.
All right, social media is still hounding us to ask you guys, Jaden or Kyle, we have a response?
The winner is the fans.
That's
We win.
right. Good answer. Kayla, thank you. Emma?
Hey, guys.
Hey, congratulations on your success. And a lot of folks may know, some may not know, kind of the trials and tribulations you've gone through with your neck. Tell me about how you're feeling now. Clearly, you're feeling better with the success you've been able to garner recently.
Yeah. I'm totally good, like medically, now that I have great access to medical care. I'm at the Olympic Training Center. Now I was in school for 2.5 years. But yeah, I had 7 surgeries before I was 20 years old. So one of those was a like artificial disc replacement, and it was tough. This year, like 3 days before senior trials, I found out I herniated the disc at the level above, and like there were days like I was getting ready for U23s, and I've had 3 spinal epidurals, just to get to that world championship and stuff. So yeah, it was a tough year, and there were times like I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it through. But having, the coaching and just everything I have now, it's been so much more manageable. Obviously, I've competed a lot on it, and it feels like 100% better. So yeah, I feel great about it.
Emma, you're very active on social media, one of the biggest women's wrestling advocates around. Tell me about what Super Match 1 does to elevate women's wrestling here, domestically, and abroad.
Yeah, for sure. It's a huge stage, and I think people don't really realize like the magnitude and just kind of what we wrestle on the college stage, especially. Like, I won 2 collegiate national titles, and one of them was, just wrestled like medal matches on all 3 mats. It wasn't really like, it felt like a high school kind of tournament that you'd go to on a Saturday with your parents in the stands, right? So I think wrestling on a stage like this, it just gives women the opportunity, to be on the same card as Jaden and Kyle, and to do all of these things, which is really important because the next generation sees that. They always see that, and whether you know it or not, sometimes I kind of like am unaware, I guess, of my activism or what I'm doing, and then I'll get these messages from these younger girls and saying like, oh, I thought about quitting wrestling, but because of you and Sarah Hildebrandt and all these girls talking about certain things, I decided not to, and things like that. So you really have so much more impact than you can even realize. And I think Rudis, having so many great women on this card, Kayla, Sarah, Victoria, just super accomplished wrestlers, is that big first step to where we can take the sport.
Emma, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up, it'll be Miles Martin and Mark Hall at 87 kilos. Mark is not here working with his collegiate team right now, but Miles is. Miles, welcome. Talk to us a little bit, great career at Ohio State for you. What is key in besting Mark Hall tomorrow?
He's a good wrestler. He's really funky. He's defensive, so I think it'll be a good match. I just got to continue to do what I do, wrestle how I wrestle, and just be ready to go, be ready to fight. So
Miles, you're a Buckeye. Marky is a Nittany Lion. Those rivalries run deep collegiately. I don't think you guys got a chance to wrestle in college, but talk about where you guys are now in your careers, the development and progress that you've made, and how you see this match going.
Yeah, Ohio State and Penn State's always had like the rivalry. It's always been like kind of sucks that my dog Kyle, went to Penn State, but but yeah, so it'll be a good match. It'll be fun. Yeah, Mark, I wrestled Mark a long time ago, Fargo finals. That's when the rules were you had to win like I think best of 2 of the periods or something like that. So we have a little history back then, and then now, yeah, we just kind of growing. It's kind of crazy to see how like when you're young like that and you've competed, and all the guys that kind of keep going, taking it through, and then how some guys kind of like fall off a little bit, and then how guys just the love of the sport kind of keeps them kind of in and doing what they're doing. So I think it'll be a fun match. Yeah, it'd be good for old Buckeye and an old Nittany Lion just to compete again. But yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how the rivalry plays out. Miles, thank you.
No problem.
All right, next up, get my page here. Jordan Oliver and Alec Pentelio. Again, we've got some terrific guys collegiately. Oliver, two-time NCAA champion from Oklahoma State. Alec with his great resume at Michigan, guys making noise internationally. Olympic trials winner, Jordan Oliver, last year in Fort Worth. And for you, that experience, how motivating was it for you to kind of continue on your quest after the way things played out last year?
I think it goes both ways, right? It could be motivating and it can be crushing, but both, push you in the direction you want to go, right? I had a great Olympic trials, made the team, went to the last chance qualifier and came up a little short. As a wrestler, right, 4 years old, my dream is be an Olympic champ, right? Get a world title, right? Be at the top and the pinnacle of the sport. Getting so close and falling short, it stinks, but, it gave me, sight, right? I've been getting closer every year, and every year just inching a little bit closer to what I want, which is a gold medal. It gave me things to look forward to, and also just remotivated me. You always got to be a student of the sport, and you got to keep getting better. And if it means taking a loss on one of the biggest stages, so be it. I became better for it. The sun rose, got the train. Life goes on, but there's things I take from it that make me a better person and a better athlete.
Jordan, Alec owns a win over you at the 150-pound bracket for Flow a few years ago. Tell me a little bit about the adjustments that you're going to have to make to reverse your fortune and come out victorious for this matchup.
I do remember. Not a lot of matches get away that I lose and I don't remember, right? The first match, if I'm sitting here being critical of myself, a lot of matches don't go my way when I score and stop scoring, right? I'm a scorer at heart. I think wrestling Alec this time around, I got to score and continue to score. Whether if it's building the lead, retaking the lead, but bringing the action to where it's, our first match ended 4-4. Gave out a push out with 20 seconds left to lose 4-4, right? That's a very, very low scoring match. I'm able, if I'm being critical to myself, I'm able to score 4 points very quickly, right? So with that being said, I think there has to be a lot more action. And taking from the first match, a lot more forward pressure, right? He sat back and waited for my fakes, and he was prepared. So I think bring the match to him, bring the pressure to him, and create wrestling.
Jordan, thank you. Alec, talk to me a little bit about doing this event here at home in Michigan. What's this like? How cool is it going to be to get to wrestle on this kind of stage here in your backyard?
Yeah, shout out to Rudis because I've been on a lot of big tournament matches or big arenas, and this is just one of the coolest, I would say. I mean, again, like Emma said, or Victoria, the cameras, everyone, everything was very professional with how this was all set up, and I'm actually really impressed. So shout out to Rudis, shout out to Cliff King Wrestling Club, getting me ready. But I'm just ready to compete. I'm stoked. I hear that Jordan made some match adjustments. Good. It's gonna test me as a wrestler. Push my skills. See if I've been making the right adjustments as well.
Alec, you've been right there with a lot of these guys, owning wins over James Green, Jordan Oliver, guys that have been world team members and have been successful at the highest level. How do you break through and become that guy that can be relied on in America to go out and win an Olympic or world championship medal?
Jordan, why don't you tell me that, man? I'm trying to figure it out. Again, I'm beating the guys I need to beat, just at the wrong times, or I'm having maybe some bad luck come my way. But I'm 25 years old. I keep getting better. I want to keep getting better, and I've got a great team around me. So I think eventually I'll be answering that question for you.
Alec, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Alec.
Next up, 70 kilos, Zane Rutherford, James Green, two accomplished wrestlers. Zane Rutherford, three-time NCAA champion, four-time All-American at Penn State, two-time world team member for the U.S. James Green, four-time All-American Nebraska, two-time world medalist for the United States. Gentlemen, thank you. Zane, let me start with you. Just matched up with James, what in your mind is critical for you to be victorious?
Yeah, just get into my positions and just keep scoring. I think playing a passive match doesn't favor the fans, doesn't favor me either. And so yeah, just getting some action going and keeping up a good pace.
Zane, you found a lot of your success at 65 kilograms. You're up at 70. Talk about what the adjustment has been like. Are you feeling better? Are you feeling stronger? Are you able to eat more? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, getting to eat more is really nice. So I'm looking forward to eating more steak going forward. It's probably my favorite food to eat. But yeah, just growing up, I did some reflection after the Olympic trials, and one thing that I've noticed over my career, my youth wrestling, I did better when I kind of bumped up in weight. So I'm just kind of testing that out.
Super match one here for Rudis, kind of this stage. What's it like for you to have the chance to have a big time bout in this setting?
Just excited. Yeah, I mean, it's another great match, and excited to. I didn't know what this setup would be like. We wrestled some rock fin duels of sorts over COVID, and they were very cool. But this is kind of like Alec had said. This is very professionally done, and excited about it.
Looking forward to it. James,
how you doing?
Welcome. For you, we've got some questions from social media. Folks wanted to know, you guys wrestled back 2016 Olympic trials. Did not go your way. What's the motivation like to get another crack at this guy?
I'm very excited. Olympic trials was at 143. We're at 154, or I guess 158 today. So just to be up my weight class and where I feel comfortable is, it's exciting.
James, 70 kilos has been your weight for a long period of time. There have been very few men that have represented 70 kilograms for the United States of America over the last decade.
Only two.
Only two. Tell me a little bit about what you think about Zane coming up. Do you feel threatened at all when you see guys change weight classes to come and wrestle you?
It's just exciting. You know, I kind of think back to, I remember you wrestling Dake or David, and after you guys wrestled, you went and won a gold medal, and previous year coming off of bronze, I think. So just to have the opponents willing to come up and train you and push you to reach your highest levels, it's exciting, and it makes for fun events. So I'm happy these guys want to come up, and at 70 kilos, I don't have to make that hard, long cut anymore. And these guys are willing to scrap, and so am I.
Looking forward to watching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next bout, women's freestyle, 53 kilos, Sarah Hildebrandt, Tokyo Olympic bronze medalist, world silver medalist from Oslo in last year against Rana Gross, the former Rana Heaton, who is here going toe-to-toe with her, Olympic trials finalist from last year, and again, cadet world champion early in her career. Sarah, let me talk with you. Again, you're 2021, a couple of podium finishes at the two biggest events from the year. What's your biggest takeaway from what transpired in the last year?
Yeah, 2021 was a huge year for me. But I think when it's all said and done, I kind of just left the year very unsatisfied. I really went in with the expectation to win gold, and when that didn't happen, it was a great lesson in terms of coming back and just continuing on. But really, it just left me with the feeling that I want more. I'm still in this to go get that gold medal, and now I've had some really hard fought, learned lessons along the way that I think are going to prepare me for that. But yeah, it was a really monumental year. I after all is said and done, I'm grateful for it. But it was, there were some hard lessons in there.
Sarah, you're one of Rudis's longest tenured athletes. Tell me a little bit about what your experience has been like with the company since its inception and your first signing to today being at Super Match 1.
Oh my goodness, it is insane. I mean, just from the beginning, I was the first woman that Rudis signed, and it was the most insane experience. I still was at Rudis just a couple months ago, talking about like, oh my gosh, I was in this parking lot with my parents, and they said they wanted to sign me, and we were all acting cool, and then got to the car and all freaked out. Oh my gosh, we're gonna sign with them. To now, like these events that we're putting on, and it's just, in that moment when I signed with them back at the end of 2018, it was like the the biggest thing in the world to me. I couldn't imagine anything more. And then like, I mean, just look at where we're at tonight and what we'll be doing tomorrow. It's such monumental growth. And I'm so happy that they've, you know, picked me to be a part of their team and to be a part of all this. It's been really special, and I'm so grateful for that.
Rudis Super Match number 1 starting tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern here from Detroit. Thought on facing Rana and what's important in your matchup?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. You know, at 50 kilos, I don't really ever get to wrestle anybody who's the same height as me, so that'll be different. But you know, she's a really unorthodox, interesting wrestler, and you know, I think she presents a lot of different situations that just maybe aren't the regular reaction. Is lots of unique wrestling. I'm excited to wrestle through those positions. I think I just need to show up, be solid, be Sarah, execute how I do, and I think that will take care of it.
Sarah, there's another Hildebrandt wrestling this weekend. Super excited for you guys. Drew Hildebrandt from PSU. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to compete, not only tomorrow, but then also to cheer on your brother the rest of the weekend.
Oh my gosh, I'm a nervous wreck for this weekend. It's so much harder to watch your siblings wrestle than it is to actually wrestle, nerves wise. So no, I'm so pumped to be cheering him on. It's so cool that this is happening back to back. It makes things really nice for my family. They're all gonna be here cheering for me, and then we're all gonna, you know, we have Airbnb, get together and go cheer on Drew this weekend to a national title. So it's super cool. The whole Hildebrandt family will be in the house, and it's just, you know, it's nice that these events just bring the whole family together. It's like, this is what sport is about, you know?
Well, you're not the only one that has a family experience this weekend, Ronnie. You know, Seth's going to be wrestling before, so take us through. Will you watch him, or are you busy preparing with the difference in where you are on the card? How are you going to play it out tomorrow?
I'll watch. Oh, sorry. I'll watch him wrestle, and then he usually comes over and helps me warm up, and just keeps me calm, I guess. So, yeah.
Rana, it's so interesting to see a wife-husband wrestling tandem that are both still actively competing. Do you guys get to wrestle with one another often?
I don't like wrestling Seth because he has no chill. So, but he's a good coach. Like he helps me with a lot of situations because I like to scramble and he's really good at scrambling. So it's fun to have him help me out all the time. So.
How about a key thought for you that you'll keep in mind tomorrow wrestling Sarah?
I've always watched Sarah wrestle, so it's just really cool that I'm able to be here and wrestle her on this card. But I just have to stay confident in my stuff and kind of just let it fly. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Yep.
Well, we've reached the main event. We've let these guys stay silent long enough. Time to hear what they have to say. Again, the headliners here, Kyle Snyder, Jaden Cox, best 2 out of 3, Rio Olympic champion, 2-time world champion, 7 world and Olympic medals all the time, 5 for Jaden Cox, including Rio Olympic bronze and his back-to-back worlds in 2018, 2019. Again, a lot of wrestling fans know the story. This was supposed to happen last April. It didn't. Kyle, for you, just your thought on finally seeing this happen and the fact that it's best 2 out of 3. How do you like the format?
I love the format. Yeah, I mean, been looking forward to this match for a long time. So, you know, thought we might wrestle at the Olympic trials, and that didn't happen. So since then, you know, I knew we'd be wrestling probably in the future at some point. So, and best 2 out of 3 is just the way it's got to be. I mean, that's the way it was supposed to be at the trial. So that's why we got to do it here.
Kyle, Jaden presents a unique matchup, very unorthodox style, unlike anyone that you've really competed against throughout your career. What adjustments do you have to make to be successful against a guy like him?
Just bring the pressure, pressure, no space. That's what I'll do.
Super match number 1 here for Rudis in this event, 6:30 Eastern. We'll start it tomorrow night. Kyle, for you, coming in here, this setting, you've been in a lot of big-time wrestling settings. Your first thought when you walked in here to what this could be tomorrow night, especially against your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be electric. I mean, the most important thing in wrestling, I think, is the sellout. You sell out the arena. You know, I've been in 2,000 people arena. I've been in 500-person arena, but you just got to sell the thing out, and that's going to make it for an exciting atmosphere. And and I'm ready to wrestle. So I think it's going to be good.
Jaden, I know you were certainly disheartened at not being able to go at Olympic trials with the weigh-in issues, but for you, thinking about not only that missed opportunity to get back to another Olympics, but a chance to go at this guy, what's that been like, kind of thinking about it? And when this opportunity arose, what was your first thought to lead you here to have this showdown?
Man, it is what it is. He asked me to wrestle. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll wrestle whoever wants to wrestle. Honestly, I was excited. I talked with Rudis and the guys, about having this opportunity and trying to get matches to even wrestle, especially with COVID being a thing. And so I wanted to get high competition. For me, though, like especially for the trials, like getting the crack at him, like, yes, he's the best, but my goal is to make a team. I don't care whose face is there. I got to go through to get to it. That's my job. Like, this is what we live for. This is what we work for. That's what we get paid to do. So if it were him or anybody else, it doesn't matter. My only regret is not making an Olympic team. Facing him here or there, it doesn't matter to me.
Jaden, you've beat some of the U.S.'s most prolific and successful wrestlers, Kyle Dake, David Taylor, and now you get a crack at a guy like Kyle Snyder. Tell me what this means to you, and tell me the adjustments that you have to strategy to go into this match.
As far as like meanings behind it, I'm really excited for the match, for wrestling culture. I'm excited for that. I'm excited that we got this done. I'm excited that Rudis, that Kyle Snyder, that this happened very fast, and to get this going. As far as people accepting matches, so I'm excited for that. But for me, I'm looking to put on a show. I'm looking to come out here and make people that paid to be here, their money worth it. Do I want to win? Definitely. I definitely want to win. But I also understand that no matter whether I win or I lose at this moment in time, it means nothing. I don't get to go back in 2020. I don't get anything for the next coming year. There's nothing that I get out of this except for maybe a win over Snyder or a loss from him. So I got nothing to hold back, and that's kind of where I come from.
And the 2 out of 3 format, does that mean fireworks?
No, I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm glad that he wants to do it that way. I'm glad that, that's coming around that. So I just think that just means the crowd gets to see more. I think that they get to see, more matches of us going at it. He's going to bring the pressure, and I'm going to bring the matrix. I've done that for many a year, and as I have faced Kyle and Kyle Dake and David Taylor, I faced many people, who have doubted me. And in both of those situations, I was doubted, and I've been doubted on some of the biggest stages, from my Olympic run to trying to win my first world title. I've been doubted a lot, and I've always come through, and I've always delivered, So, I mean, I don't see any reason to have any disheartened and thinking that it can't happen again tomorrow. Pressure or no pressure.
Yeah, we are dying to find out, to see how it plays out. Kyle Snyder, Captain America, Jaden Cox, the Matrix. We are ready to go, and all these talented athletes coming up tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern, available on Rudis Plus. Glad to have you with us, Jordan. This should be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I've been waiting for this for so long. I'm a wrestling fan this weekend. I cannot wait to see it tomorrow night.
Well, we can't wait to have you along for the ride. Rudis Plus, 6:30 Eastern tomorrow here from Motor City Casino in Detroit. We will fire this engine to life. Super match number 1 here on Rudis Plus. Can't wait to have you join us. Don't forget, 6:30 Eastern tomorrow. For now, so long from Detroit, and we'll see you tomorrow night.